In 1492, a single voyage across the Atlantic Ocean changed the course of human history forever. What began as a search for a route to Asia became the start of global empires, colonization, massive cultural exchange, and reshaped the world. Before 1492, Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Americas were largely separated worlds. European kingdoms wanted direct access to the riches of Asia, spices, silk, and gold. But land trade routes were expensive and dangerous, so Spain funded an Italian explorer named Christopher Columbus to sail west across the Atlantic. Columbus believed he could reach Asia by crossing the ocean. On August 3, 1492, Columbus departed Spain with 3 ships. After more than 2 months at sea, land was finally spotted on October 12th. Columbus had reached islands in the Caribbean. He believed he had arrived near Asia. Instead, he arrived in the Americas, lands unknown to Europeans at the time, unknowingly opening a new chapter in human history. After arriving in the Caribbean in 1492, Spain quickly began building colonies across the region. The Spanish first settled on islands that are now part of modern-day Cuba: the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Puerto Rico, and Jamaica. From there, Spanish explorers and conquistadors expanded into mainland America. They conquered vast territories across Central and South America, including regions of present-day Mexico, Peru, and much of the Western Americas. Spain also claimed large parts of what is now the United States, including Florida, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. The Spanish Empire became one of the most powerful empires on Earth during the 16th century. Spain was not alone for long. Portugal soon claimed the eastern part of South America, modern-day Brazil. France built colonies across parts of modern-day Canada, including areas that became Quebec and Montreal. The French also expanded deep into North America through the Mississippi River and controlled territories covering parts of modern-day Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, and several other U.S. states. Meanwhile, England established colonies along the eastern coast of North America. Over time, these settlements grew into the famous 13 colonies. As colonies expanded, European empires demanded labor. This fueled the rise of the transatlantic slave trade. Millions of Africans were forcibly transported across the Atlantic under horrific conditions. It became one of the darkest chapters in human history. And also for the indigenous peoples of the Americas, the arrival of European empires brought centuries of suffering and struggle. Civilizations such as the Aztec, Maya, and Inca lost their lands through conquest, warfare, forced labor, and disease. Entire populations were devastated by smallpox, measles, and other illnesses brought from Europe due to a lack of immunity. In many regions, indigenous people were pushed from their ancestral territories as colonial settlements continued to spread. Yet from this moment also emerged the first truly connected world. Global trade expanded, empires rose, cultures mixed, economies transformed. British colonies along the eastern coast of North America eventually united and declared independence in 1776. This led to the formation of the modern-day United States, which would later become one of the most powerful nations in human history, influencing modern world economics, technology, military power, culture, and international politics. Spanish and Portuguese colonies in Central and South America eventually became the independent nations we know today, including Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, and many others. The arrival of Europeans in the Americas reshaped the balance of global power and laid the foundation for much of today's modern geopolitics. Columbus's voyage in 1492 connected continents, created empires, transformed economies, and changed the fate of civilizations. To some, it symbolizes exploration and discovery. To others, it marks the beginning of colonization and immense suffering. It remains one of history's most debated events. From colonial expansion to the rise of modern superpowers, the effects of that single journey can still be seen in today's world. History was never the same again,